Here's Sean Brady explaining his beef with Buck. You know, Brady already opened up the door to this on his own platform, and Ariel's going to ask him about it because the clip surfaced. You know, Brady's the one who's opening up the door about the trash talking so far in this fight. The stuff he's bringing up that Joaquin said was years ago. And yeah, finally he gets to speak about it after years of Buck living rent free in his head. So here we go. Tell me I'm wrong too. Tell me I'm wrong that Buck hasn't been living rent free in this dude's head. He's going to speak about blocking him after these clips and everything.
So you talked about seeing Buckley at the Apex. The quote is, "We're in Vegas. We're at the Apex. That's where I was doing all my testing. I'm in the front. I was waiting for an Uber. Some loud-ass mother effer is coming out. It's Buckley. He looks over and says, 'Sean Brady.' Prior to this, he said something about me with my staph infection, not washing my ass. He was like, man, why you block me on Instagram? We're about like here, and he's loud as shit, bro. I'm looking at him. I'm like, I don't like all this talking. We're talking for like 5 minutes. He's talking about selling fights. What's going on? Tell us about this story. What's going on here?"
So before me and Buckley were ever slated to fight, he was like, he made some, like, I forget when it was. I guess it was when I was supposed to fight Jack Della Maddalena. And
No, it was Vicente. Okay. It was when Joaquin replaced him against Vicente Luque at UFC Atlantic City. And I asked Joaquin how the fight came together, and he said because Sean Brady don't wash his ass, so the UFC called me because Sean Brady came down with staph infection. We will play the clip, but it wasn't the JDM fight. It was the Vicente Luque pullout.
I pulled out because I had a staph infection. So I couldn't fight.
See what I mean?
He made some post about me, like saying I don't wash my ass, like just saying some shit. And
hang on. Let's just play it. We got it ready. We got it locked and loaded. Okay, Joaquin Buckley on why UFC called him to fight Vicente Luque at UFC Atlantic City because Sean Brady don't wash his ass.
Because with Vicente Luque, he had to pull out with Ian Gary. We called that. 2 fights. I'm looking on it. Ian Gary versus Vicente Luque and Wonder Boy versus Shavkat. So
okay.
I will replace any one of those guys whoever fall out. They didn't call me up. So they rebooked it with Sean Brady, who also pulls out of every fight because he don't wash his ass because of staph infection. So they was like, shit, man, we ain't got no other choice, man. Who can we call? And shit, they called on me. So, you know, now I get to show them why I'm that guy. You know, and then plus it's a fun matchup, period. Me and Jeff Neal, we got the same style. And you seen what Jeff Neal did to Vicente.
Okay, so, you know, this is the lore right here. And in my opinion, this might be one of my favorite Joaquin Buckley interviews of all time. If there's, you know, what we like to call demon time on this channel, okay, this is one of the most demon times Joaquin Buckley ever been on. Secluded in Michigan before he moved back home to STL. In Michigan in a little, like, I don't know, maybe like studio type house living by himself, you know, starved out of fights. He's speaking about it right here. The UFC said, who else do we call? You know, he got overlooked twice, right? If you just paid attention to this clip, in a previous interview, okay, he said, I'm going to Michigan, I'm training, I'm staying ready, right? Boom, the fight falls out. They call somebody else. They don't call him. Then the fight falls through again, and then they call him. So he was really on demon time. Like he was like the third choice. You feel me? After he already put it out there that they should have called him the first time. But they didn't call him the first time. The replacement pulled out in Sean Brady, and so they were forced to call him. But this interview, I just have to say, was one of the best ones. One of the best ones. When he still had the nap, too. All right. So going back to the Sean Brady interview, though, this is the context of the he don't wash his ass. You know, that's what pissed him off. That little throwaway comment pissed him off.
And he just talks too much. So I blocked him on Instagram. Like, I can block whoever I want. It's my life. It's my Instagram. So I blocked him because whoever talks too much. So I blocked him on Instagram. Like, I can block whoever I want. It's
soft.
My life. It's my Instagram. So I blocked him because I don't feel like hearing that shit. And then we seen each other. He was like, why you block me? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, bro, I don't do all this social media back and forth shit. And at this time, I just got booked with Gilbert. I was like, we're not fighting each other. I was like, I have a fight. And we talked for like 5 minutes while my coach was standing behind me. We were waiting for our Uber because Joey was fighting and I was there doing like pre-camp testing shit. And so we literally talked for like 5 minutes. Like the PI has video footage of it. And he was like just trying to kind of be funny. And I was just like not really being funny. Like I just don't think he's a funny dude. I think he talks too much. But then he did an interview afterwards saying like he seen me, I didn't say anything. Like he almost felt like he was bullying me. So I'm like, first off, you ain't bullying me. No, I don't care who you are in this world. If you can beat me up, whatever. You're not just going to talk to me crazy or bully me. So he was just like, just bullshitting and just lying. Then he said, like, if you see me on the streets, he would like run, like he would like punk me on the streets or some nut ass shit. Like, bro, I'm from Philly. Like, you're not just running up on me like I'm some bitch. So that's when like I finally, because before like I would never even respond to half the shit he would say because he just says shit that says shit. So now like, all right, now we're fighting each other. Now I will address you. Like, brother, you didn't punk nobody. You weren't talking crazy when you see me in person. And now we get to fight and now we get to settle it. So we will see in 7.5 weeks what the fuck is up.
Okay. Okay.
So, you know, the interview clip that he's referring to, okay, it's right here. It's right here. We got the clip right here. This had to have popped up on his YouTube because, like I said, this clip never left YouTube. Okay, this clip never left YouTube, so it definitely came across his YouTube recommendations. And here's the title: Sean Brady or Joaquin Buckley on bullying Sean Brady at the UFC PI during International Fight Week. Quote, he was like a kid, part 4. Okay, this is why I chop up the interviews like I do, especially with Joaquin, because I always knew that this stuff would come back. And look at it. We're making headlines on Ariel Helwani. Now we're not going to get the name drop, right? Because we not industry, right? We don't be sucking people off, so we don't get the name drops. But that's okay. That's all right. We know where the clips originated from. We know we're making news. We making headlines. We know we coming across Sean Brady's recommendations on YouTube. And they speaking about us, but they not dropping the name. That's fine. Totally fine. Really nothing personal. But I'm just saying this is why I clipped this stuff up, because I knew it was going to come back. So let's play the clip because I kind of forget. I kind of forget how this whole thing went down. So let's listen to it. Sean Brady and Wonder Boy, right? Anything go on there?
With Sean Brady and Wonder Boy. All right, so Sean Brady, funny enough. Okay, I'm glad you brought that up because I did run into Sean Brady too. Funny ass. Sean Brady was literally like a kid, bro. Like he was like, bro, stop bullying me. Like I was like, bro, unblock me off of you because we met each other at the PI. So before I seen Sean Brady, I seen Joe Pfeiffer. And I talked to Joe. I was like, where your boy at? Where's Sean at? He's like, man, he out there, man. He out there in the by the front desk. I said, bet. So I popped up on him. And I seen Sean Brady. He's literally looking down and shit. And this is the funny part, right? He had like a bandage on his eye, like Nelly. So I ended up joking. I'm like, okay, bro, you repping STL, huh? But it looked like he had staph.
Oh,
right underneath his eye. I'm like, boy, you gotta clear that shit up. So he getting upset, he getting mad and shit like that. He was like, man, why you always fuck with me and shit? I'm just like, man, as fighters, this is what we do. This is, at the end of the day, I'll be looking for a fight. If you're a fighter, then let's get down. He's like, but at the end of the day, man, that's just not how I get down. If we gonna run it, we just gonna run it. But I don't like all that shit talking back and forth. I'm like, come on, man. This is how we promote, man. This is how we eat. So we literally going back and forth and all this other shit. And somebody literally in the background, I can't remember his name, but I think he's a fighter in the UFC as well. But he was like, Buck, man, just leave him alone. I was like, damn, bro, they really trying to make me a bully out here. But yeah, Sean literally didn't want no issues with me whatsoever. It's kind of crazy. Like I said, I felt like I was like literally back in high school fucking with some kid, bro, in the cafeteria. Sad.
all right. And then
with Sean Brady, I figured out bringing this up on the podcast because
This was some random lore. This is about Andre Petrosky. It means nothing, so we're not going to give Andre Petrosky the shine. But this was just me speaking about how basically I was talking to Joaquin and I was like, bro, like Sean Brady's team does not like how much I be fucking with you. That's what I was basically telling Joaquin here. And yeah, there wasn't much about it, but that was the golden part right there. What what Joaquin just said, you know, it felt like he was in the cafeteria with some kid in high school, you know, didn't want no smoke. Tony South saying, leave Sean Brady alone. Shout out to Brady. I mean, hey, Brady opened this door. And like I said to start this off, shout out to Sean Brady for opening the door, right? Shout out to Brady for opening the door, talking his mess, you know, building up the fight. But, you know, now we building it up. We pulling out all the receipts. Sean Brady's bringing up the receipts. I'm pulling them up. Sean Brady's speaking about them, and I'm showing you exactly where they came from.
His last performance was a big one against Kamaru. He hasn't fought since June of last year.
Yeah.
There was a lot riding on that one, and it obviously didn't work out. What did you think of how he fought in that one?
Yeah, I mean, Kamaru's a vet. Like, Kamaru knows what he's doing. Kamaru went out there and fought a very smart fight. And listen, Buckley, outside of the things he does on social media, he's an amazing fighter. Super athletic, super explosive, crazy knockout power, super flashy. So he does awesome stuff. And yeah, so he's a great fighter, and I'm taking him as serious as I've ever taken any fighter. I'm training my ass off because I know what he brings to the cage. But yeah, I mean, just like my last performance, I don't think that was his best. I don't think my last was my best. So the good thing is we get to go out there and we get to settle it.
So you mentioned earlier you think there's a bit of a logjam at 170, and it sounds like you think
I will say, you know, shout out to Brady for showing respect. There is one thing you can't deny, and even Brady knows it. And I think Brady would love to discredit a guy like Joaquin. I don't even think he's necessarily, no offense, Brady. No offense. This is probably the most insulting thing I feel like I will say about you all day. But I don't know if Brady's necessarily intelligent enough to, like, know better than to not down his opponent's skills going into a fight. Something tells me he would be down to do that. But he, especially with the guy who he lacks respect for in Joaquin Buckley. I mean, he barely respects Buckley, but he does think he's a great fighter. But he, like, you know, how do I put this? He doesn't respect Buckley as a person, right? But he respects him as a fighter. And I think, you know, shout out to Brady, because if you don't fuck with Buckley as a person, I could see that clouding up your judgment on him and getting it twisted that he's a bad fighter too. But that's not the case. You know, Buckley is a great fighter, and not even Sean Brady can deny it. You know, even though Sean Brady doesn't like him as a person, he recognizes the greatness as a fighter. Even he can't deny it. So shout out to Brady. You know, he not wrong. Joaquin is a great fighter, and he's going to show why come May 9th. He's going to show why come May 9th. All that trash talk and all of that glazing people have been doing for Brady for years. Just remember all of that when Joaquin gets the win, and all that dissing they've been doing on Buck. You know, I don't want to hear no double standards. I don't want to hear no goalposts get moved after May 9th, after Joaquin gets the job done. Getting another highlight reel finish on the resume against the great, the talented Sean Brady.